this video, I'll be taking 9 of the most popular gaming consoles of all time and build them in LEGO. Let the challenge begin. Starting off with the first console, the Nintendo Switch. We can start by grabbing some black pieces to make the center screen. It's nearly identical in scale to the real Switch, and even has the same buttons and vents on the top of the tablet. The Switch released back in 2017 and is the third best-selling console of all time behind the PlayStation 2 and Nintendo DS. It can be played in handheld mode or TV mode with the docking station. Now we need to make a blue and red controller for the sides of the Switch, starting with the right controller and then the left controller. And now we have a LEGO Switch, which looks pretty accurate to the real thing. Let's level up the console though and build a Mario game on the screen. Now that looks pretty awesome. The next console up is the Xbox Series X. We'll start by building the base with a hinge in the corner so the back of the console will open. I'll use these pieces to make the vents on the back, and using a sideways building technique, we can build the ports. What's left is to make the top of the console, which has a bunch of holes in it. I'll place these pieces on top of this base, and now the Xbox is complete. The best part about the LEGO version is you can store your drinks in the back for a late night game session. And yeah, I bought an Xbox Series X to compare. Looking at the two side by side, I've gotta say the LEGO version looks really accurate. Down to the buttons, disk drive and Xbox symbol on the front, the ports on the back, and even the holes on top. Now it's time to build the PlayStation 2, which released back in 2000 and is the best-selling console of all time. It was also the first TV gaming console I got as a kid for Christmas.
Yeah, there we go.
PlayStation 2.
I want to do my best to match the ports and vents on the front, as well as the buttons, ports, and fan on the back. We'll start off by building the base, which is almost exactly to scale to the real console. Then we can build the bottom half of the PlayStation. Now it's just a matter of building the top half of the console and connecting the two parts together. With the two consoles side by side, it's pretty impressive to see how similar they look. The ports on the front all match closely, minus not having wording on the LEGO pieces. We were even able to match the fan and other buttons on the back of the console. And of course, we can't forget to add the PS2 logo on top. I am very happy with how it all turned out. Next up is the GameBoy Advance SP, which came out in 2003 and was the first Nintendo handheld console with a light-up screen. It also happens to be my first ever gaming console.
You happy? Let me see a smile.
Which came with one of my favorite games of all time, Super Mario Bros. 3, which I may or may not have played in the middle of the night as a kid. The Game Boy folds open and has a D-pad and a few other buttons along with a light-up screen. To make the screen for the LEGO version, I used a sideways building technique. I also used a similar building technique to create the base and used tiles for the buttons. And the final LEGO Game Boy looks just like the red one I had as a kid, even down to the controls. It's almost possible to mistake the LEGO one for the real console. The next console on the list is the Xbox 360. It was released back in 2005 and it revolutionized the online gaming space. And since Mega Bloks makes Halo sets, they collabed with Microsoft to make this Xbox 360 set. Inside the box are a bunch of bags and a huge instruction booklet. Please forgive me, LEGO. And after multiple hours of building, we have the finished Xbox 360. It's actually insanely detailed with all the different buttons, disk drive, ports, and vents included. Pressing down the power button actually lights it up green. Let's just hope this one can't get the red ring of death. By popping off the hard drive and pressing this piece here, we can open up the panels to all the internal components. It has the internal fans and all the other hardware that makes up the Xbox 360. Pressing the big green Xbox logo makes it light up. Also included is a copy of Halo 3, arguably one of the best games of all time, that can be loaded into the disk drive. And when it's dropped in, it lights up a mini Cortana. The classic Xbox 360 controller is included, which is a bit small, but does have all the same buttons and joysticks as the real one, and it even lights up. And to finish the set off, you get an Xbox achievement for completing the build. Another popular console is the Nintendo 3DS, which released in 2011 as a follow-up to the Nintendo DS. We can use a sideways building technique for the screen, and then connect all these chunks together to make the main portion of the console. And the finished product looks really good. The LEGO version has the same buttons as the real one, and is almost the exact same size. There's even a slot to insert a game. It's almost impossible to tell the difference between the two. Just watch. Hey bro, you got a second?
Bro, I'm real maxing right now.
It'll just take 1 second, real quick.
Alright, fine.
Alright, which of these two 3DSs is the real one?
The real one?
Yeah.
That one, right?
because I'm trying to make him look like...
But that's the real one. Okay, so I choose the Lego one and think it's real.
Yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah. Which one is the real 3DS?
Oh man, I can't even tell the difference. Oh, this one, right?
That's the one, yep.
Oh wow.
Actually,
dude.
that's Lego. What? Yeah.
Oh man, dude, I can't even... Oh, it is Lego. Oh my.
Let's build an iPhone, which is probably the most common gaming console we use on a daily basis for mobile games like Clash of Clans. We'll use these pieces to build the phone. Now let's add some apps to the phone like Twitch, Phone, Messages, YouTube, Discord, Snapchat, Clash of Clans, Clash Royale, and Brawl Stars. And the phone turned out looking very realistic. I also want to build some Airpods to go with the phone, as well as the charging case for them. They actually fit really nicely in the ears and look just like the real thing. LEGO has also released a few of their own gaming consoles in official sets, including an Atari 2600, a Pac-Man arcade, and the NES. The LEGO Nintendo Entertainment System has all the same features as the real one, and side by side it looks incredibly accurate to the actual console. The Atari also looks very realistic with all the appropriate buttons on the front, and they even matched the classic wood paneling. Even the Pac-Man arcade holds true to the real thing, although it's a bit smaller than the actual arcade. It even has some functionality included. The second to last console up is the Nintendo GameCube. It was released in 2001 and was the very first Nintendo console to use a disk drive to load games, and featured premier titles such as Super Smash Bros. Melee, Metroid Prime, Mario Kart Double Dash, Animal Crossing, and many others. Outside of basically being a large cube, the console has a few ports on the front and back, as well as a handle to pick it up. So let's turn this plain silver GameCube into a bright orange Lego GameCube. I was able to make the front part of the GameCube by building it all into one big panel. And for the handle, I used these clipped pieces to make it bend to match the real handle. Side by side, the LEGO version is ever so slightly larger in order to make the front panel work. I was able to build the side vents on the LEGO version, as well as the ports and other details on the back of the console. I'm overall really happy with how it turned out. For the 9th and final console, let's build the PlayStation 5. It has a uniquely curved design, which is going to be a challenge to make in LEGO. Let's start by using these pieces to create the internal structure to connect the curved panels to. We can use these different types of white curved pieces to create the panels. It took a long time to come up with a way to build them, but I think they turned out looking pretty good. Now we just need to make the front, top, and back panels. And with those connected, we have our completed PlayStation 5. Considering how difficult it is to make curves in LEGO, I think it turned out looking really nice. All 9 of the LEGO consoles turned out looking really awesome, and it's pretty impressive to see how realistic they all look side by side to the real ones. Let me know in the comments which LEGO console was your favorite, and if I should make a part 2 of any consoles I missed. Thanks for watching.